welcome back to another one of these Techno review videos, or Techno reviewer, the Techno reviewer. Well, it's me. Today's video was supposed to have been a review of the GPD Win, which I have actually had for quite some time now. It's been probably, I'm going to say, a year. This video, as you've probably seen from the intro, shows this device, which is actually this device, and this video has been something that I've wanted to do for some time, never got around to do it. And unfortunately, in the time that it's been left, for some reason, whether it's been dropped, perhaps the kids dropped it. I did notice there's a little mark there, and perhaps, yeah, it does look like it's been dropped. Well, let me tell you something about the device. Obviously, this is the GPD Win. Oh, hi there. The GPD Win device, and it's actually quite compact. It's not much bigger than a phone, as I've used in the intro. This is it's quite a nice looking phone, isn't it? Anyway, the as you can see from a standpoint of view of an iPhone 5, it's not that much bigger, and yes, you wouldn't really be putting this in your pocket as such, and it is, well, it is pretty big in comparison to a phone, and yeah, the thickness is probably about twice as much. But then again, it's not a big device to be well, obviously, for what it is. The specification of these is basically a fully fledged PC. It does run Windows 10 Home, and it does have a x86 based processor. It's by a company called GPD, or Gamepad Digital, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Gamepad Digital, I'm sure it is. And this is basically the innovation of this particular company, where they had originally brought out another device which was similar looking, and actually looked more like a DSi or 3DS XL kind of thing, and it was actually just an Android device that allowed you to play games, just a bit like a one of these sort of clone games, but actually an emulator. That's it, that's an emulator, that's what I was looking for. Well, like I was saying, this device here was then obviously replaced by another device called the GPD Win 2, and also there was a GPD Pocket, or yeah, GPD Pocket, which was a nicer looking PC. This is more like a gaming device. It has the thumbsticks here, which are quite surprisingly nice to use. It has your D-pad and your normal buttons, and it also has shoulder buttons, and it has the R2, R1, L2 and L1. At the back we have a 3.5mm jack, a USB 3, an SD card slot, a mid-size HDMI. I'm not sure what this is called. It's the one slightly smaller than the full HDMI, I can't remember what it is, and a USB Type-C socket there. I am expecting in the next couple of days the USB Type-C dock, which allows you to have the extended function of the HDMI as well as USB socket. So I will be testing that on a later date. And also I actually purchased it because I want to try this Samsung DeX on another device, but that's for another video. So like I was saying, this device here has dedicated buttons for gaming. As you can see, it's got like the Xbox button, which is the to launch the game section of the PC. You have your L3 and R3 button, which, if you are familiar with joypads, you have that the fun sticks, they usually click in for the R3 and L3 function. Your start and select, and then your volume. Obviously, this section here is something that on a day-to-day basis, if you're only using this as a PC, you'd probably only be using the power button, which is this red one here, and the volume keys. The keyboard is not something I would suggest buying to type on, because it's ridiculously complicated. It's not complicated, but my hands aren't very big, and still I cover half of the keyboard just with my thumb. So if you type on this, it's literally the case of going with your fingers and looking for the keys would be you wanting to press. You have your function key, as you generally have on laptops, which allows you to select the function and the blue the blue selection there, and then the rest is just a normal keyboard. You have got a sliding switch at the top, which allows you for selection of what the thumbsticks or the joypad section actually do. And in my case, as you can see, it's set on mouse, which is the middle one, but you've got D-pad, which is the normal digital layout for like PC based games, and then the X for Xbox function. I have noticed that you have got triangle, square, X and circle, which is generally the PlayStation sections of that. I've not tried it with any games, especially because, well, as you will see from the specs I will be telling you in a second, it's not the greatest gaming machine. I am sure that if you're watching this video, it's probably by chance or because you are looking for the repair side of this. And if that's the case, then I will put a post in the description when the timeline, when the repair starts, so you can skip the first part if that's not what you're looking for. The specs of this, going back to it, it's based on an x86 processor, which is an Intel Atom Z8700 on the first versions of these, and they add a plastic lid. On this version, which is the second model of the first generation GPD Win, it came with a Z8750 processor and the aluminium back casing. It has a 4 GB of internal DDR3 memory, which surprisingly is not bad, and it comes with a 64 gig eMMC style memory, but it's everything's on board. So I will show you the main board after, and everything is on board. It has, as I said, a micro SD slot, and the viewing size of the display is a 5.5 inch, giving you as a resolution of 720p, which is actually 1280 by 720 with the 16:9 aspect ratio. It has got a capacitive multi-touch display, and it's supposedly has Gorilla Glass 3 on display. On this particular one, I have actually, from when I bought it, I had what's it called, screen protector on it, so I've never actually got to scratch the display as such, but to me it feels more like plastic, and I'm a bit skeptical about some of these what's it called, specification that they give you, but I have tested that the rest of it is actually what they say it is. The graphics is absolutely horrible. It's just pointless to have a device that gives you the ability to play games and then put in there an Intel HD 405 graphics. It's just pointless. You cannot play any games that you would want to play on unless it's something that was made at least 12 years ago. There is, I mean, it will run Doom and it's fine. It will run Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and it'll even run maybe San Andreas, for example. But anything after that, it doesn't. And there are videos claiming that this thing plays Grand Theft Auto 4 or even Grand Theft Auto 5, which is a harder question. It does not. One limitation is the amount of internal memory, which is 64 gig, and I don't know if there was an 128 gig version or variant rather, but I'm sure that it wasn't. When I purchased this, there was just this variant. And yeah, so apart from that, it also has a bit of connectivity. So of course you're going to have your Wi-Fi, which is 2 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, which is quite nice, I suppose. It has Bluetooth, which I think it's Bluetooth 4. It allows you for quite good audio streaming as well. And like I said, apart from that, it's just the mini HDMI connection. I think that's what it's called, and your standard outputs. There is an internal battery of 6,900 milliamp hours, which gives you quite a long standby time. This device has a standby time of roughly around 2 days normal usage. If you use it like say about 6 hours a day, playing games, mixing and everything, 2 to 3 days. And for what I use it, I tend to use it, charge it like once a week, or maybe even more than that. when even less than that. I mean, I think it'll probably even last me 2 weeks, because if I use it, it's just something that I use it for like 10-20 minutes, half hour. It does not replace your laptop, like I said, and like I'm going to repeat this so you don't make the mistake I did. Don't buy this expecting this to be a replacement for a gaming machine, or even a replacement for a portable gaming machine, because it cannot play those games. I did try to put some emulators to run different type of games. If it's something like up to like NES, maybe even, well, I was going to say N64, but no, it can't play N64 either, because it goes all jittery and glitchy, and then it just stops. On the front of the device, we've got an exhaust port, and it's not the best placement for it. And on the bottom, you've got a fan port there, which also has another exhaust port here. And I think that might have been a speaker, actually. Well, actually, it's very simple to see, because I have got a main board here. And no, I am correct into saying that is, in fact, the exhaust port and inlet fan and exhaust port on this side. And on this side, you've got the speaker. So it's just to give you some sort of symmetry that they've put these and these over here, but it's nothing else. On the bottom, you have got, which I forgot, and it is another switch. Obviously, this is nothing that you would use. Well, we could say it's for performance. It's basically how quiet or loud you want the fan, and in respect for that is how fast or slow you want the fan. It's always nice to have the fastest speed to cool it down the most, but the fastest speed is loud. So there is also the lower speed, but the lower speed is too low. And if you play something that is, or if you do something that is more intensive, then it's not going to cool down properly. So I tend to leave it in the middle. The middle sort of gives you a better idea of everything. And that's basically it. Starting from now, this is going to be now the disassembly of the unit and the replacement of the LCD. Why? Well, it's simple. Why? If I power this on, and I don't know why, but this happened. It has these lines underneath. My assumption, it was dropped. That's where I'm going to go. It was dropped. But these lines tend to be just on the display and sometimes disappear. And I did actually notice that to begin with, I had a very small line at the bottom. It was missing one line of pixels. And then all of a sudden it started playing up even more. But now there is more and more, and the bottom section is completely disappearing. And if I leave this on, after a bit, it goes all a type of glitchy, and it disappears. All the picture goes, so you can actually see at the bottom. You can't really tell what that is. It's not very useful. But yeah, this is that device. So now I'm going to switch it off, which is there. And that was an error message for some reason. Now I can actually see that there's another line over here. So while this is powering down, and I'm going to mention this again, it's not a very fast machine, and it will take some time to power down. So I'm just going to put that there. You can sort of give yourself an idea how long it takes. Now, a friend of mine had bought one of these at the same time that I did, but is at the failure of the BIOS chip, so he gave me his. To save time, I've already taken this apart, and it's here. What you have is the main board, the bottom section, which has the internal battery, all the little toggle switches, well, the clicking switches, that cable flex that is on the bottom. There you go, that's just powered off now. And I'm back in the picture. Hello. That's amazing. Let's close that then. And yeah, so on the bottom of the actual display assembly is the keyboard assembly with the various buttons. And oh, it's missing the little, oh, there it is. It's missing this. There you go. So you've got the keyboard assembly, which is nothing more than one of these keyboard membranes that then I'll show you where it goes. You've got your various antennas, which is your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and you've got the display assembly with the proprietary flex, or obviously it's going to be proprietary. Everything on this machine is basically proprietary. And there you go. The main board, like I was saying earlier, obviously I'm not going to take that main board apart, but I will take that apart to show you the repair. That main board, what I was saying earlier was, obviously you've got your chip, which is your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth assembly. It's all in one, but there's not much on this board. It's bare, it's empty. It does not look like a PC, but it is. It is. So you've got your keyboard, which is through this flat flex here, and it goes on top of this. It's basically laid out on this copper shielding. This copper shielding is actually the heatsink, and it's quite a big chunky one. It is a sort of a passive heatsink. There's no vapor chambers or anything like that, and there's just your normal thermal paste, and that's it. And here we have your board with, obviously that's what I was saying, that the fan was, and the speaker was on this side somewhere. I can't see it now, I don't know why. Oh, I'd taken it out. And here you have your PC part. So your PC is basically this. So you've got your chipset, your SSD type or eMMC, and your RAM, and the graphics is on the CPU. So that's what you get. That's it. So I'm just going to leave that there for a second. So if you want to get a snapshot of this for any purpose, any reasons, but maybe not. And the underside, that's that. Well, this I'm going to be putting away because don't need this. Well, eventually probably try and find the BIOS, which I did find where it was on here. Oh, there it is. I think it's this one. I think that may be it. I think that was the BIOS chip, I think, yeah, but maybe not. No, that definitely was it. This was the BIOS chip. I was looking for this. I can't seem to find one. Some people have said in some forums that it's available on eBay. I've not yet come across one. I will have to look for one. If anyone does know where to find one, then please send me a message and tell me where to find it so I can actually buy one. My shoulder buttons on mine were playing up, so my select button had some sort of an issue. It's like this machine doesn't have a debounce function, so whenever I clicked this, it was like it was clicking twice. So I don't know. I'm going to replace this, especially because the battery should be fairly new. It was only charged like 2 or 3 times. So I'm going to use this battery and the display assembly, and hopefully that will fix my machine. So to begin with, for the disassembly, you basically just need a few tools. Now I've got a couple of screwdrivers. I've got one with a very small fine tip Phillips head, and one with a slightly bigger, and that should be enough to begin with, because if I'm not mistaken, some of these have bigger screws. But let's start the disassembly. As you can imagine, the disassembly of these kind of machines is very simple. See a screw, take the screw, remove the screw, and that's what I'm going to be doing. It's not a very complicated machine, but there is a trick in trying to disassembly and reassembly. I did have a problem with the reassembly of the machine once, because I did originally open this. I wanted to see what's inside, as you would. Always remember to remove the SD card, because that's going to cause issues otherwise. So the way that you remove this is so it's quite simple. Choose a pick, and you put it inside this edge. I'm going to show this. There's an edge between the bottom casing and the keyboard, and it is literally the case of running this around. and this literally pops up. So you can close the display and this separates. Before we carry on, there's this flex cable over here which we will need to disconnect. So inserting our plastic tool, we can lift this and that removes it. And then there is the battery, which we can just simply disconnect, and that's that. So this is the bottom case, and I'm going to be using the new one for the battery and the buttons. Let's see what happens if that actually solves it. And we've got the top assembly, which has the joysticks and the main board. And this is a bit more complicated in the sense of disassembly, but not too much. There is a few clips that hold down these flexes, which are for the joysticks, and these can simply slide out. That's that. That's that. And then we've got our display connector that pops out, and that's that. That's our speaker there. That's our speaker. I had already removed it on the other one, but that's our speaker. And we've got our connection, which is one of these ones that literally just clips on. I'm going to be using tweezers here. The tweezers, metal, not supposed to be good. I can't seem to remove this now. Let me just try and get this out of camera, out of view. Well, that's not very good. Looks like it's come on. Well, that was that was another thing. I've had to resolder that connection there, because by pulling this, I actually lifted that leg. Luckily, it didn't actually lift the pad. So, but yeah, there's only 2 screws there, and you only have to move it to the side. I don't know how, I don't know why the other one I removed it, but that's what it is. Now this is where you're going to need the bigger screwdriver, because these screws are actually a bit bigger, and you need to remove the joysticks, because otherwise you can't remove the board out. And it is a simple case of removing the big screws on the edge and the 2 small screws on the side, and that will allow you to remove the actual joystick assembly. And another one there, and this one. And that's it. So we can remove these out of the way, these little joystick assemblies, and there you go. So that's that. So we then have somewhere, there's another couple of screws, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, up there, and there's another 2 there, and another 2 there. So we've got these 6 screws over here, and same as before, just make sure that you organize the screws, because there are different screws. So these ones that hold the main board down and the speaker are the same type. So these silver ones will be the same. And that's that. So we should be able to now remove the assembly. So this lifts out, lifts over there. Oh yes, nearly forgot. We need to remove the antennas. One there, and now we can remove and lift out this. Oh, there's another couple of screws. There's one here, but they're black. You can barely see them. the silk screen is black, and so are the screws. I'm just going to show you one. There, you can barely see it because they use this black silk screen, and the screws that I've used there are black. You can't really see them. And let's see, seems like it's easing out, so it feels like there's something still holding them. Could it be the fan? Don't think so, because the fan can't be anywhere else. It's on the casing, so there's another screw there. All these hidden screws. It was some time ago that I disassembled the other ones, so I didn't remember most of these. There's the wire traces here that allow the cable to run, so these can be removed. And that. It feels like it's coming, but still it feels like it's held down somewhere. Where? Well, there's nothing there now. What if I try to lift it from this side? Am I going to break it even more? What is it? What's holding it down? Come on. Can't be. Can't be anything else. There's nothing there. It feels like there's something holding it right. Well, I apologize for that. For some reason the video just stopped recording, but yeah, it come apart. It was just this little plastic turret here that was inside this hole, and it wouldn't come apart, so it just has to come straight up. So that's my main board. This is the old display assembly, which I'm going to be putting aside, and we're going to be, well, put it down here, and we're going to get the new one and placing this one in its place. Let's have a look. So it was, it's probably best to do some cable management first. So yeah, this cable has to go over here, pushes through there, and through here, pushes through here, and I think it goes to the side. Does it? Is that how that one is? No, it's on the inside. Okay, it goes through here and then inside there, so it goes through this little points here, over here, and find it up the top. So we just place the main board straight down. We need to get the display cable going in into there. And carefully does it. And click that in place. Okay, so that's in place there, and we can start reconnecting everything. I suppose the easiest way would be to make sure everything is clicked in. So I consider there's a gap here. There's a gap. Oh, there you go. That's that. You have to be clicked in. I think that's it. And that one there. Yeah, so I'm going to be putting the screws in first. Now I remember removing 2 black screws from the top there, so that's what I'm going to be putting in, because I remember them, as I didn't before. And there's another one over here. Then I remember that there was a silver screw over there. And that one is in. And then there was 6 screws up the top, going up. One, 2. Yeah, I need to get myself one of those electric screwdrivers. I've seen them. They're actually really cool. I don't know how they work or whether they work well, but they certainly look amazing. I've seen so many videos of people using them, and I think that they are going to be it's quite a nice nice screwdriver, I suppose. And this one, and this one here. I will be posting another video later. I think it's going to be probably next week, of the disassembly of the display. So we're gonna open that display up and see what's happened, why did it stop working, and we'll see what it's going to be inside. Okay, so that seems to be in. Okay, like that. Then this one clicks in. That one's in. Now this one seems to be running through here, through these metal guides, and that one. So they go through there, and then clicks into here. And that's that. And now we've got the joysticks, which go which way? They're both the same. They look the same. They seem to be identical. Doesn't seem to be any reason why one shouldn't be working on the other side. Anyway, let's start by putting this one in. Clicks in, and put this one in, and that's that. Then we've got these big screws, which hold down the actual joystick. There's one on the other side. This is where the magnetic screwdriver would actually help. A trick to magnetize a screwdriver is to run it through a magnetic field like a speaker and just running it straight. Then that should magnetize the screws. Well, the screwdriver. This is not strong enough, it's not going to work, but yeah, you can magnetize screwdrivers with a magnet or a speaker. Obviously a speaker has a magnet. And 2 more screws, and we can put the back casing on. That's 1 and 2. I apologize, this video is becoming a very long video, so if anyone wants to do the timestamps, then lift this connector, get the tweezers and move the flex in place. There, click that down, and this one. Yes, okay. And click that. There are many different type of connectors. These ones, they lift. There's the ones that have the latch that move to the side. There's the ones that you just click in. There's this type which I wasn't able to remove earlier. All these connectors, they can be a bit fiddly and painful to disassemble and reassemble, but if done properly, it's not so difficult. Have I put this in? Because I noticed that it's dropped out there. Yes. Yes, it is. Fair enough. Brilliant. And what we can do now is put the rest of it on. Now, first thing we want to plug in, what is it going to be? Well, we can reach over here. So we can reach this one over there. We'll put this one in first. Let's see. Well, this one is very simple because you can move it to the side and click that in place. That's that. This is just the fan speed. And then we've got the power, which we are going to do while the unit is sort of closed, not quite. Just place it inside. With the help of some tweezers, I suppose we can guide it in. And yeah. And the thing is that I'm not particularly sure why that LED come on. I hope I haven't done something wrong. Is that supposed to do that? Should I hold it down? Huh. That was very strange. So let's see if it works. Well, that's not good, is it? It's definitely not a good sign. Whenever you try and power something up and that happens, it means it's not good. I'm wondering whether there's a problem with something. Clearly. Let's disconnect everything and try the original base. Could it be a problem with the battery? That's really strange. That's coming up straight away as well. Not sure whether that's supposed to do that. It's not working. Definitely isn't working. There's something not quite right here. The fan spinning? No. It's getting hot. It's not even getting hot. Ah! The only thing I replaced was the screen. Could it be a problem that the screen's faulty as well? Have I got my luck? Wow. If that is going to be the problem as well, that's just my luck. Let's try and plug this screen in. I mean, that's the only thing I've changed. It would be nice if I could remove one of the batteries, but no, I can't. So let's try this again. Well, that LED's come on again. Not sure why. The LED is on, but the screen isn't. Something is not right. Something definitely isn't right. Have I broken this? Have I made it worse? It appears so. That's very strange. I didn't do anything else that... I mean, I haven't changed anything apart from the screen. Let me do a jump cut. Well, I thought that something had to go wrong, but actually no, it was actually very simple. When you first put this back together, it seems like it appears that you need to put the cable, the USB cable to charge it, and then it seems to come on. So now I'm going to leave it charging and see how that goes. But before then, we need to reassemble it properly. So I'm going to disconnect this because this is not connected, it's not assembled properly. What I was saying earlier, when I said that I had originally disassembled this, which I had, which is why I'm finding it very strange that it didn't work straight away. But there's these I/O ports at the back, and they need to line up with this casing. It's very fiddly. But basically what it is, you can see that there's these clips at the back. I don't know if you can actually. Can you? There you go, you can probably see them there. There's these clips, they need to line up inside there, so it does kind of click in place. But you can see that these ports aren't actually showing through properly. So even if you close it, see what happens. The port is halfway. So unfortunately, I can't actually do it on camera to show you how to put it on. But it is the case of trying to find the sweet spot where this back casing literally just clicks in, and there you go. I think that did it. So that is where it goes, and it goes on top of it. So once that's done, you can sort of click the rest. And no, it didn't, did it? It did not, because I can still see the casing not going in place. It's very awkward to put this on. Yeah, I think that's did it. I think that time that did it. Sort of looks like it. It doesn't, because that's still out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that off camera. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Let's have a look if that actually fixed it. Is that gonna power on? Yeah. Wow, how surprising that is. Just a USB cable, and that starts it. I wonder why it has to do that. Perhaps it's something to do with waking up the system. But I had removed the board from this before, and I had no problem with that. Yeah, so that is actually much better. I can see the screen now fully, and I can see that there's no lines. I wonder what had happened with the other screen. Let's have a look if that actually starts up properly. The fan is on max. There. Battery is running low, of course. There you go. It's charging. PC is charging slowly. Yeah, I've got it connected through a another PC, in fact. Yeah, I had actually installed Steam, but there is no game on Steam that is worth playing, and that actually works actually. But yeah, I can see that now. This is intact. There is no lines. Well, that's how you do the screen replacement. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, watch more of my videos. Leave a comment in the comment below, and so somewhere over there's a subscribe now button, and there you can watch my videos, or newest videos, or other videos. Then yeah, there's a playlist with all my videos. Well, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, put a thumbs up, like, subscribe, like I said, all of that stuff. Thank you. Bye bye.